floor and go up and up and up, and you could be missing out on tons of equity. But you get into the house at a lower price, but then you get a much higher interest rate. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
I mean, you guys, I'm just gonna take a minute. I'm emotional right now. It's the weirdest thing. Like being a coach and being here for you guys. Like I'm literally like overwhelmed with emotion right now. It's the weirdest thing. Like Kyle, dude, like so impressed. Like absolutely impressed, man. So I mean, you guys, let's get a reaction. You guys give them a thumbs up. Good stuff. Like, dude, I am like just touched that you have done so much work, man. And if it's this environment, if it's your peers, if it's listening, if it's simply showing up, dude, like I am absolutely impressed, overwhelmed with emotion right now, man. So way to step up in and absolutely crush it, dude. So you've set the bar really, really high. So Patrick, I'm gonna go to you next, man. So you're going to show me, paint the fence, right? So we're gonna start with your why. So Patrick, why do you do this business?
Well, you know, every home has a story, and one of the greatest joys of my life is I get to help you find yours. You know, whether you're looking to build generational wealth, whether you just got, you know, a promotion, or whether or not you're looking for a place for you or your family. My objective is to always put you in the best position to start creating an amazing new story and an amazing new house.
Beautiful. I love it. And Patrick, you know, how are you going to help us get an offer accepted? We heard it's so competitive right now.
Well, the beauty of not only working, the beauty of working with me is that you're also working with Team Fast. We're the #1 reviewed team on Zillow. And the beauty of that is that not only are we sharp as a tack, there's just so many of us that we get to see the market through so many different prisms that there's absolutely no chess move that we're not prepared to make or prepared to anticipate. And so between comps and our experience, you're in really good hands.
Beautiful. I love it. And why should we sell now? Like, why is it a good time to put our house on the market?
Well, no one is ever going to be able to anticipate the market with pinpoint accuracy. But what I'll say right now is we're seeing pretty unprecedented times with respect to not only how high homes are selling over asking and how many offers are being presented, but in addition, when you sell that home and you're looking for your next one, which I assume would be pretty shortly thereafter, you're also looking at historically low rates that you may never see for the next 10 to perhaps even 20 years.
Man, I love that. And I think we should wait till the market crashes.
You know, this is obviously, you know, that's a tale as old as time, and I'm obviously going to defer to you to make the best decisions in your interest. What I will say is that you may start to see your hairs gray waiting for that to happen. At this stage, the only thing that seems pretty certain is that commercial is likely to be affected. But as far as we've seen, with the exception of San Francisco, you might be waiting a very long time. And by that point, you may be looking at prices higher even after the crash than it is today.
What is the difference between now and 2008, 2009?
Well, I mean, without going into the weeds about subprime loans, I think you're looking at a situation right now that's a little bit more nuanced as opposed to a far greater blanket crash. So for example, what I mean by that is if you, again, look at commercial, you're seeing that there is potentially a lot of crisis, especially with office buildings, with people being able to keep their rent. Perhaps apartment tenants may be suffering in that way. But a lot of folks out here are looking for single family homes. And when it comes to single family homes, we've seen nothing but, you know, pedal to the metal as far as prices going up. So it's going to be up to you to make that call. But if you're asking for my professional opinion, now is a very, 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 very good time to be a seller in this market.
Beautiful. Well said. Well said. Can we give them a thumbs up, a reaction? Really, really great stuff. All right. So Joaquin, show me, sand the floor. We're going to start out with you. Same thing, my man. What is your why?
My why is not to allow people to make the same mistake that my grandparents made. They didn't buy a home until they were in their 60s. They're gone, so I don't know exactly why that was the case, but it could have been two reasons: fear, or they were not informed. So my job is to try to inform as many people as possible about the possibility of purchasing a home.
Man, I love that. All right, man. So show me, paint the fence. How are you going to help me win in this competitive market?
Yeah, the great thing about being in this, I'm actually in the team in the Bay Area that's #1 reviewed by Zillow. It's over 100 agents combined. I'm assuming we have over 50 years of experience. We have about 40,000 followers. So with that team and myself having 6 years of experience, we'll be able to strategize, figure out what the market looks like, give a good calculation of what the offer should be, what the right terms to get your offer accepted.
Beautiful. And why should I sell now?
Why should you not sell now? There's so many people right there's so many people right now looking for homes, and they're offering homes, or they're offering prices 100K, 200K over asking price. So if you want to sell, you're in the perfect window because you can sell high and you could also buy with super low interest rates. So right now is the perfect time to buy.
Wow. And is this a housing crisis like we had in 2008? Because I know people said they're going to wait for foreclosures. Should we wait for foreclosures to hit the market?
You know, this is my opinion. Right now, we have somebody in the White House. They're not going to let him fail. There's so many institutions right now who are going out of their way to ensuring that people do not go into foreclosure. So because of that reason, I just don't anticipate that happening.
Dude, you know what, for both of you guys, let's just pause for a quick second. Some of these things I've never heard from your guys' mouth because we haven't put them all into like a sequence like this. And dude, I am loving, and every one of your guys' answers are different, but it's the same. And you know what it sounds like? It sounds natural, right? It doesn't sound like, hi, other important tasks that I need to cover and fill the gaps with quick wins and postpone and delegate or choose to pass today. Does that make sense, Mr. Buyer? Like, dude, there is such a flow right now. So, man, I'm loving this. Great job, gentlemen. Let's give Joaquin a thumbs up, hand clap, anything. All right, so we're going to go over to Miss Samantha. Samantha, I want to have you show me.
I was waiting for the last question, too.
Wait, what was the last question?
Why should we sell now?
Oh, did I ask that question?
Oh, I think there was one more. I think
you said why shouldn't I?
Oh, okay. You know why? You know why I bring this up? Because I used it last night. I had a listing appointment.
Let's hear it, then, bro. Let's hear it.
I pulled up that's Walt's story, and I want to highlight how people right now are being, bombarded. All the homeowners for all these appointments. So I pulled it up last night. It helped me so much. So hopefully you get that listing today.
I love that, man. I was literally 12 hours on the market. They already had 60 confirmed showings. Like craziness, right? Craziness. All right, so Samantha, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, so we're gonna go, Samantha. Remember, we're not cerebral players. We're shooting from the heart. So we're gonna have you show me, stand the floor. So, Samantha, why you? What's your why? Why do you do this?
I sell homes because homeownership is very important to me as I grew up in rentals. So being able to help families, whether it's create more security and stability or actually find a place to call their own, holds a very special place in my heart.
Beautiful. I love that.
It's not only a passion, but it's an honor to help these families with such an intimate process.
Man, I love that. So Samantha, was your mom a single mom?
Yes.
Okay. So like play on that. I have single mom syndrome, right? I grew up with just my mom, just my sister. So I would play on that a little bit more. All right. So
okay.
Paint the fence. Tell me how you help to get clients that offers one in this competitive market. What's your strategy?
My strategy as your advocate is to educate you on the market and come up with the best strategy in place to submit a winning offer.
How do you do that?
How do I do that? I educate myself and talk to my team. If I need the assistance, I also check in with my mentor if I need that. I've got a huge support system on my side, and with my market knowledge and negotiation skills, we're sure to get you a house.
Okay, so Samantha, why should we list our home now? People are saying it's a great time to list our home, but we don't know. So we want to ask your expert opinion. Why should we list our home now?
I mean, the market's insane right now. It's a crazy seller's market. Like I told you and many other clients before, there's homes going with multiple offers, well over asking, and they're sitting on the market a couple days. So why not?
So I'm going to ask you that question again, but I want you to infuse a third-party story that is a real story that you've heard from one of your fellow team members, seen on IG. So, hey, Samantha, why should we sell our home now? We heard it's a great time, but we don't really know. So we wanted to ask your opinion. Why should we sell now?
That's a great question. Well, if we look at the house down the street, it got 20 offers on it and went 80,000 over asking. So, I mean, and other homes in the area are going well over asking. So again, it's a seller's market. There's not enough inventory, more buyers. Your home's going to sell.
Okay, good stuff. And lastly, we're thinking about waiting until the market crashes.
Okay, that's cool, but who knows when that's going to happen? You know, the market's cyclical, and yes, it does go up and down, but honestly, I don't see prices going down anytime soon in the Bay Area, maybe in another area or state, but not here.
Yeah, and I think too, you guys, this is an area obviously where we can totally build. And Samantha, I think that you're doing a really good job. Everyone through pandemic realized in San Francisco there was inadequacies in the space that they lived in, right? So this has opened people's mind to living in outlying communities and having more space and need for Zoom room. Those conditions will still last far down the road. And so I don't see any signs of there being a market crash right now. New presidency, interest rates are still low, values are still high in almost every single market in the Bay Area. So this is an amazing time with no signs of it going downward. We might see an uptick in interest rates. That's normal, but the market is super strong. So Samantha, man, great job. Way to show up in a big way. Melissa, I'm going to go over to you now. Are you ready? All right, so Melissa, show me, sand the floor. We're going to start out with tell me your why. We're going to bundle this all together. Tell me your why. Why do you do this?
I know firsthand from my grandfather buying houses as a bus driver to me buying my first house, how homeownership can completely change the I can't talk today, trajectory of your life, your financial future. And I really love showing people how they can tap into that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. My grandfather was a bus driver in the Bronx in the late 60s.
Oh, cool.
And, moved out to California, bought a house for $11,500. My grandma was a little Italian lady from Jersey. So I love that story, Melissa. All right, so we know it's a competitive market, Melissa. What is your strategy that's going to help us get our offer accepted in this competitive environment?
Well, there are a lot of facets to a great offer. First of all, really understanding the market and knowing that you can afford a specific area. So we'll dive deep into your financial capabilities, but also your needs and reality of where you can live. And then it's not just the offer price, there's also really important terms, and getting information, finding out from the seller what's important to them works really well in getting your offer accepted.
Beautiful. I absolutely love that. And so people are telling us, we've owned our house for about 20 years now. People are saying like, ooh, you should sell your home. Like, in your opinion, why is it a good time for us to put our house on the market?
We're having a magic moment here in the Bay Area. And if you're thinking about selling a home, you definitely want to think hard about it. Really low interest rates, super high buyer demand, coupled with low inventory. It's just creating a buyer frenzy. I just had a client lose an offer on a house in San Francisco that it was a very modest, cute house, but needed a lot of work. And, you know, they were in the middle of 12 offers and they offered $200,000 over list price. So
wow.
If that doesn't tell you a little something, then
Awesome. Awesome. You guys, once again, everyone's approach to this has been different, right? There's the sense of ease when Melissa talks about this. There's a sense of direction or directiveness when Samantha talks. There's just, I'm loving everyone's approach to this. So we're going to go with April next. So for the people that are just joining, came on a little bit later, Eric, what's up? Dewey, Lamont. What we're doing now is everyone has been doing drills, right? Or if we take a look at, you know, the Karate Kid, it's like everyone's been painting the fence, everyone's been side to side, everyone's been waxed the floor. Now we're like, show me, right? Show me in this environment. So if you guys are coming on a little bit later, that's what we're doing right now. So Miss April, we're gonna have you do it. So show me, sand the floor. We're gonna start off, first off, what's your why? Why do you do this?
My why, my goal is to help families build generational wealth and have financial freedom.
Okay, so I want a little bit deeper than that. That was like your cookie cutter answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, what's your why? You're a mom. You got kids running around. You're
oh,
just.
you want the backstory?
Yes, but the why is what's connected to your heart. You know, I want to help you build generational wealth. No, I'm a mom. This is what I've been.
Growing up, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My husband's mom was a stay-at-home mom. So I automatically thought I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, you know? And then seeing my dad struggle, lose his business, you know, short sell the home. I didn't want to live, paycheck to paycheck like they did. You know, I wanted to build generational wealth for my kids, for my family. And it's really shown my parents like, wow, like you can really do this. So I think it's just the perfect career for me and for my family. So I can still stay home with my kids, and I love it. I wish I did it sooner.
I love it. Okay, so do you guys hear and feel the difference, right? I want to help people build generational wealth. Well, no, I'm going to tell a story about why I truly am in this business, right? But April, it was a total different flow and total different tone. So April, we've heard it's competitive in the Antioch market. What is your strategy to get our offer accepted? Because we know it is tough out there.
Well, my job as your agent is to just strategize like we're a team. Just come up, look at the area, look at the comps around the area, and just see how much over asking. You know, we're gonna just compare different housing markets depending on where you want to live. And then we're just gonna strategize so I can just educate you on this market right now, on where you're comfortable on writing. You know, it's not just always about the price. Sometimes, you know, a lot of people right now want to rent back. So if a rent back, if you're able to give them, you know, a few months rent back, maybe that's a deal breaker, and that'll help you, you know, save tens of thousands.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we're thinking about selling our house. Why do you believe, in your expert opinion, now is a great time for us to list our home?
I mean, it is the best time right now to list your home. I mean, it's historical on how all these first-time home buyers are just coming out of everywhere. So there's not a lot of inventory, but there's a lot of buyers. So people are fighting till the end and giving up, you know, cash out of pocket, even if the house doesn't appraise. They don't care. They just want to get into a home. And if you look at the comps down the street from where you want to live, that house went 100,000 over asking. So that's extra money in your pocket. And after we sell your home, I'd be more than happy to help you find another one after.
So let me ask you, why is there so many buyers in the market right now, April? Like, help me understand that.
I think personally with COVID, a lot of people are working from home. They're remotely from home. They've realized how much home means to them. So I think a lot of people have realized how much, you know, just owning your home and having that generational wealth, like I said before, and just having somewhere to just call your own instead of renting for the same price as, you know, how much your mortgage could be, is really important right now. A lot of first-time home buyers there's a lot of different programs. So a lot of people are realizing the programs that we have right now. And also, you know, the interest rates are very attractive where, you know, you can get more house for your money because, you know, at the end of the day, your mortgage is going to be less.
Good stuff. I love how and from the first time we did this, I think that it's 100% better, and we're just going to continue to tighten it up, but really, really good stuff. Let's go over to Miss Terry. So Terry's been in this game for quite some time. And you hear from Terry. Terry's going to show us, you know, paint the fence. So we're going to start out with you, Miss Terry. Why are you in real estate? What's your why?
That's a great question, Elias. But if you have a few minutes, I'm going to tell you the backstory on how I got into real estate.
Yeah,
I actually was working for a company, and I did 12 years, almost 12, just before getting vested and being able to have a pension. They up and move out of state.
Oh,
And
wow.
at that point, I had to figure things out quickly. So I actually opened up my own childcare business. And my sister was in real estate, and she kept begging me to come join the team and learn real estate. And I was like, I don't have time for all that. And finally, she got me, and I joined. So basically, real estate I just fell in love with it. It gave me opportunity not only sell and help other people become homeowners, it actually allowed me myself to become a homeowner. So that's how I got here.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Once again, infusing that third-party story, infusing your own story. I absolutely love this. So Terry, we know it's a tough market. We've been looking in Brentwood. You're in Brentwood. What is your strategy that's going to help us win in this competitive environment?
I have you all the way. Number one is relationships. I actually not only live out here in Contra Costa County, I've built years of relationships with all the agents that are here in my community. And so basically, along with that, and sitting down with you and giving you the opportunity to really look at what your terms and your offer is going to be, we'll basically have you in the running for making a very strategic offer.
Wow, love it. And Terry, people are telling us that, man, we should probably consider selling our house. We're thinking about moving to Arizona to be with the grandbabies. Like, why is it such a good time for us to sell our home? Can you help us get our heads around this?
That one's real easy because I'm out here in the field every day. We actually work, we probably have upward to about 40 buyers currently waiting to purchase homes as well. So right now, we noticed that the bank is offering historically low interest rates. So everybody's like, hey, here's my opportunity. So the market is just basically flooded with buyers, and it's a great time. Let me give you an example. We put our property on the market and we listed it at 540. We had 22 offers. Wow. On this one house. So just to give you an idea, if you are thinking about selling your house, this is the time. There's a waiting list of people wanting to buy it. It's kind of like that Jordan shoe that comes out and you see that line around the corner. Yeah. Same concept.
Man, Terry, so you know, let's pause for a quick second. Do you guys feel like that whole entire conversation, she was in control, but wasn't pushy about anything, right? She shared, she let you in her own story. She said, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question. It's kind of like, whoo, I was waiting for you to ask. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I thought you would never ask, because let me answer that question. So, oh man, I am absolutely loving this session. So let's go over to Joaquin. Did you go yet? Did Joaquin go? Joaquin, you still there?
Yeah, I went earlier.
Oh, you went, oh, sorry. So Kevin, we'll go to you next. All right, Kevin, so show me, paint the fence. So first things first, Kevin, you know, what's your why, man? Why do you do this business?
Hey, Elias, are you a sports fan?
I am.
You are awesome. So I grew up an athlete. I'm a huge sports fan. And so I love coaching little kids sports. I coach my kids in various basketball and soccer programs. I love coaching them in life skills. And then what real estate allows me to do, it allows me to coach my clients towards a path of generational wealth. And so it really helps me to clear the way. I block and tackle, and then we get you to where you want to go.
Beautiful. I love that, Kevin. And then we know it's a competitive market, man. We've been looking in Danville. We have our friends that are trying to buy in Danville. What is your strategy, and how are you going to help us win in this competitive environment?
Yeah, so great question. You know, I'm out there every day. We are showing buyers every day houses. And so what I'm able to do is I'm able to leverage my team. We are there's about a 40,000 person presence behind me of an audience that we can. Let me start over.
Go ahead, run it back, then. Run it back from the top,
yeah.
right? So, breathe, release, let it go, and let's just run right back into this, man. How you help me win in this competitive environment?
Yeah. So I can help you win by bringing my team with me. So I've got a transaction coordinator, I've got my loan partners, I've got a whole team behind me that will allow me to strategize with you and educate you on the best way to make the best decisions for the choice of the home that you want to make. I've been in the Tri-Valley for over 30 years, so I know those neighborhoods like the back of my hand. When you want that cool, quiet area, or you want the cool school that's within walking distance, like I can show you those neighborhoods, and then we can put a strategy together with the right terms that'll help you win.
Good stuff. And now, Kevin, let me ask you, we've owned our house since 1999. People are telling us it's a really good time to sell our house, but I guess I don't understand why. Can you help me understand why it's a great time to sell our home?
Yeah, so the Tri-Valley is on fire right now. Quick example, just earlier this week, we put in an offer. There were 14 offers on a $1.1 million house. The winning offer was $200,000 over. Right. So sellers are getting a lot more money right now. Our lot sizes, our backyard pools are a huge attraction to those people coming from the city, from San Francisco and the Oakland area. And then we're actually at a 20 to 30% discount from the South Bay and the Peninsula. And you get a lot more for your money up here, and our schools aren't impacted. So we have all that going for us on top of the low interest rates that are historical.
Man, great stuff, Kevin. Absolutely love it. Great stuff. So Rosa, I'm going to turn it over to you. You're going to show us sand the floor. So are you there, Rosa?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. So Rosa, let's hit it from the top. So tell me first off, what's your why?
Oh, that's a hard one, honestly. I'm still working on it, but when I first started real estate, it was because I wanted to become a homeowner myself. But I didn't have the money and I still don't. So I'm working towards it. And so in my head, it was like, well, if you can't beat them, join them. And so I decided, enough is enough of working a 12-hour job and working overtime and not making ends meet. And so I decided to have a career, that gave me freedom and more time with my family and just more, could put me in a better place for the rest of my life. So
what does that mean to your clients? Like what is the why to help clients do that?
I think, I don't know. It's just, buying a home is just more than just living in it. It provides you with stability and opportunities for you and your children. And pretty much you're kind of you are set for life, if you buy a home.
There it is right there. Great stuff, Rosa. All right, so we know it's a competitive market. We've been looking in Oakland. What is your strategy that's going to help us get an offer one in this competitive environment?
My strategy with all my buyers is to educate them first on the market and really getting to know exactly where they want to live and if that's a possibility, for them within their price range. It's really important to zero in how much they can afford so we don't waste time, because time is so important in this market. Like the more you wait, the more expensive it's going to be for you.
Wow, great stuff, Rosa. Now, people are telling us that it's a good time to sell our home. We don't really understand why. So why do you think it's a great time to sell our home?
Well, we're in California. Supply and demand is the law here. There's not enough supply, and there's been demand since since 2013. Like it's been a seller's market. So I'm sorry, I got lost.
It's okay. Let's run it back. So why, in your expert opinion, is it a great time for us to sell our home?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, supply and demand. It really is very important here in California because there's not enough space for all the buyers or all the people that are living here. There's not any new construction going on near San Francisco or West Contra Costa. So if you have that single family home, you're sitting in a gold mine. We're seeing offers come in like way above asking price, like around 200,000 above. And then we're also seeing more than multiple offers. We're seeing, I think the most I've seen was 52 offers in one home. So it's a seller's market, but you're really going to take advantage of it and you're going to make a lot of money.
Wow, I love it. Great stuff. Great education. I appreciate that. So I'm going to turn it over to Walter. Walter, just hop on. I'm going to ask Walter the same question. So Walt, what we're doing is we're kind of running it back through all the things that we've compiled and learned over the last couple of months together. So Walt, I'm going to ask you the same question. First and foremost, what's your why? Why are you in this business? Yep.
Oh shit, my bad. So really quick, I just walked in the office and I heard all this fire coming from the Zoom. I'm like, shit, I gotta jump on the call. What the hell's going on?
Well, then add to the fire.
This shit is fire. My bad. Excuse my language. Anyway,
it's okay, man. Eric's here.
Okay. Oh well, I'm good. I got a pass. No, seriously. Why did I get in the real estate business? So I grew up in Philadelphia. My dad used to flip houses like way back in the day, like when I was 10. So I've been around real estate probably 30 something years at this point. So I have a little bit of experience with, a little bit of construction, a little bit of, making repairs, things of that sort. I like to see families build generational wealth. It's been a blessing to my family. We actually own about 8 or 9 rentals on the East Coast. So I've seen it make a difference in the lives of others. And we just personally own a house here in California. So I've been through the buying process. I understand it's hard, it's tough, it's an emotional decision. It's a financial and emotional decision. And the reason why I would say you as a buyer need to work with me, because it is, it's an art and a science. The science piece of it is going to be comps and average per square feet and all that stuff and looking at neighbors. But the hard part of it, And the hustle part of it is going to be like, this is your house, this is your home, this is where your kids are going to grow up, this is their neighbors you're going to make. It's going to change both your life and your family's life. So make an investment in yourself and in your family, and make a strong decision. And California real estate, it's one of the best investments, I would say, in the country.
I love it. So let me ask you a question. Well, everyone's telling me that it's probably a good time to sell our home. We bought it in 2004. In your expert opinion, why do you believe now is the best time to list our home?
Listen, Elias, I'm going to tell you like this. Like I said, I bought my first home in 2005. This is a historic time. The interest rates are at record lows. When I bought my first home, I think it was around 6.5% to 7%. We're easily below 3% right now. For every home, there's at least 25 to 30 people looking to buy a home. I have a listing in Dublin right now. I'm working with my good partner, my teammate, Jack. We have around 40 people looking to see this house, and we put it on the market about this time yesterday. We're getting preemptive offers. Let's go ahead and get that dream. You want to move to Arizona? I got you. We'll go to Arizona. I'll recommend an agent for you. We'll go pay cash for that house, because you guys work hard. You bust your ass. You've owned it for 17 years. Let's go take that money. Let's go take it to Arizona and live debt free. And now we're moving to the next level. And if you're thinking generationally, your grandkids are going to benefit from this. Their kids are going to benefit from it. Now we're creating the Elias legacy that's going to last generation after generation.
I love it. And here's what I love about this part, Walt, is that you started out with telling a story. I believe in being like a third party story junkie, right? And I say that all the time. He started out with his own journey of growing up in real estate. And so when Walter, in the middle of his presentation, says, listen, Tom, listen, Elias, right? That could be perceived one or two ways. Listen, right? Or it's like, listen, that's me commanding this conversation. And like, you had me hanging on your words, and you guys are doing a really, really good job at that. So Walt, solid stuff, man. I absolutely love it. Let's go over to Jeff Phillips, my man. Same thing for you, man. We're going to have you show us paint the fence. Jeff, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. You good?
Yep.
All right, man. So first things first, why?
All right. So Elias, my why is, a lot of people don't know this. I actually went to Howard University to go ahead and start my journey to be a sports athlete agent or a sports agent. I got halfway through and I actually couldn't finish due to financials. So I had to come back to the Bay Area, dust off, and say, what am I going to do here with my life? Well, my big why when I was wanting to be a sports agent was change the dynamics of African-American athletes going broke. Well, my buddy who was already in real estate let me know, you can expand that why. You can expand that. You can still have that foundation that you want to change those dynamics, but you can actually change the dynamics for across the board, many different people, all different walks of life. And when I had that paradigm shift, I knew real estate aligned with my soul and that I had to go forward with it.
Man, I'm sorry to pause for a second, dude. I never knew that, but you being the people's agent, that story like aligns perfectly, right? Versus you're in an elevator with somebody, who's sitting down to somebody and say, what do you do for a living? Oh, I sell real estate. So what? So does my uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what Jeff just said, that's impactful. So great stuff. So Jeff, it was deep. You're absolutely right, Samantha. So Jeff, this is a competitive environment. We know. What is your solution, and what's your strategy to get our offer accepted in this competitive environment?
So in this competitive environment, my strategy is to align with my beautiful team that I have. I have over 100 different brothers and sisters that have all different walks of life, of market knowledge, as well as connections that we've cultivated. This gives us the ability to find properties off market, which will be a lot less competitive. But also, as your agent, I'm going to be hitting the boots on the ground for you. So that's going to be me sending out mailers around properties that you really, really love. That way we can try to find something off market that isn't going to be as competitive for us.
Nice, Jeff. And then, we've owned our house for the last 8 years, and people are telling us it might be a good time for us to list our house. Why do you feel it's a good time for us to sell our house? And I guess we don't understand why right now.
No, yeah, I can understand that, not being in real estate, you're like, wait, what's going on? Historically, right now, we're seeing two different things. A historical amount of less inventory and historical amounts of low rates. So combining those two together are creating a competitive market where we're having people on our team who have a listing having 144 viewings and having over 20 offers. So with all this competition, while the sellers are sitting at that high ground, they're getting over asking price and they're getting their offers in a quick manner. That way we can get you fast to your next destination and you can start living your best life in that next place, in that next phase of your life.
Man, beautiful. Dude, Jeff, Jeff's been practicing really, really hard behind the scenes and it shows. Dude, what a complete growth that I've seen. And dude, you let us in. Even Samantha said it, man, I was deep. Like you let us in and it's just real. I feel like I'm just talking to a real person. It's not just, cut and dry and this is all business. So really, really good stuff.
Man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody on this team for always trying to, push me to be better. This is dope. It's been dope.
Good stuff, man. Laura, let's go over to you.
Thank you. I thought you would never ask.
That's right. All right, Laura, so you're going to show us Paint the Fence. So we're going to start with you. So what's your why? Why are you in this business?
Well, let me give you just a story of why I decided to do real estate. What takes me back to where I said it all the time. I've done loans for about 15 years. It really helped me understanding the culture, the people. I help a lot of people, immigrants, to be able to get the dream home by getting them a loan. And then eventually after the 15 years, I decided just to stop and then just do sales. And then later on, I just said, there is still something missing on me. I don't still have the joy that I used to have when I used to help people on getting them loan. So that is why I decided to do real estate now. So, and then now, this is the reason why you should work with me.
Beautiful. I love that. And Laura, we know it's a competitive environment. We hear all these horror stories. So what is your strategy that's going to help us win in this competitive market?
That's a great question. Number one is educate you. Number two is let you know that not only myself, but I also have my team. They had the potential to be working for many years as well. And we have all the resources for you.
Perfect. And then, we've owned our house for the last 10 years. People are saying, you should probably sell your house. Why do you believe, in your expert opinion, we should list our house right now?
Well, number one, interest rates are low as they've ever been before. I've done loans and I see loans all the way up to 7% or 11%. So being in the way it is now, 2%, 3% is unbelievable. And they give the opportunity to other people to buy. And also there's a lot of people that are here in the city that would like to be far away. And then sometimes there's a reason why they give that interest to want, okay, well, this is the perfect time. And there is low inventory, not many other houses around that are for sale. And that's the reason why I think you should sell. Because let me tell you, I'll give you a story. I myself have been helping 3 buyers so far. And they've been putting offers and offers and offers. And they've been bidded out by 20 other offers or 30 other offers. And so you just pretty much, you have to be prepared, pre-approved and ready to go. So that is what I think you should list your house, because you're going to sell it right away.
Beautiful. Great stuff, Laura. And obviously this is all coming together. The flow sounds really good. Absolutely love that. Let's go over to Robert. I think Robert's going to have a totally different approach than what we've seen, because I've seen so many different variations of this and I absolutely love it. Robert's one of our newer cats to the team. So Robert, I'm going to have you show us sand the floor. So you're going to start out. What's your why, my man?
I got into the industry just to help people. I have a genuine passion to help people. It's been demonstrated in my professional history. I worked many years as a personal trainer, then kind of moved into a life coach space. And I just like helping people. I think that real estate, and in particular their house purchase or sale, is usually the biggest transaction they're dealing with in their life. And so I like to use what I've learned to help them do that effectively.
Awesome. Robert, let's take a quick break, man. Can you tell me this? 98.1 smooth jazz. Can you say that? Can you say 98.1 smooth jazz?
Yeah, 98.1 smooth jazz.
I'm dialing in every night, every night. All right, so Robert, so in this environment, we heard it's super competitive. We're seeing all these stories. What is your strategy that's going to help us get our offer accepted in this environment?
Oh, that's a good question, because it's going to take just that in this market. It's going to take a well-developed strategy. I'm going to be your point of contact, answer any questions or address any concerns you have. But most importantly, I'm going to lean on the team that I've joined here. We have an extraordinarily strong team that's built a lot of relationships in the industry and in the area. And so my goal is that that'll gain us some kind of insight to help you put together the best offer we can.
Beautiful, man. Well said. You know what? People are telling us it's probably a good time to sell our house. We've owned it now for 16 years. In your expert opinion, why do you believe that it's the best time to list our home?
Well, I'm going to assume you want to get the most money you can. Is that right, Elias?
That's correct.
Yeah, well, this is a good time to do just that. There's many complexities to it, but the simple piece is just supply and demand. We have a huge demand and a very small inventory. And so most of the properties that come in the market are getting a lot of offers. And if our goal is to get you the most money we want, or you can, this is a good time to do that.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I believe it. There's this tone. We talk about tone a lot, right? There's this commanding tone and this bass in your voice, man, that I want you on the phones, all of you guys, but that tone right there, man, that people are going to be gravitated toward that. So great stuff. Let's take one more, then we're going to go around the room and kind of have a talk about this and a session about takeaways. So who would like to be the last one? Chris, you want to go?
Sure, I'll go.
All right, man, you're going to show us paint the fence. So let's start out. So Chris, what's your why?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Elias. My why is, my father growing up, I saw how much he invested his time and his energy into acquiring real estate. And, growing up, we were eating top ramen sometimes and cucumber sandwiches, just so that, he could build his wealth through real estate. And ultimately, I saw the difference that made in our lives, right? Just doing this for as long as I have, I've seen firsthand the difference that it's made in my clients' lives. And nothing feels better to me than somebody who comes back and says, you know what, I've made $100,000, $200,000 on my home, and I'm ready for my second one. And it's cool just to see that change.
Man, I love that, man. I love that. It takes me back when I was a public speaker and I'd speak in front of these rooms. I used to have a line that it was just me and my mom grew up. My mom was on welfare, living from, house to house, living on the streets at one time, but it was like literally beans and rice and Jesus Christ, right? I just had a belief that I wanted to do something better with my life, man. Chris, I love that. That's part of your why, bro. Good stuff. So Chris, it's a competitive market up here in Elk Grove. We know it's going to be tough. So what is your strategy that's going to help us get our offer accepted in this competitive environment?
Yeah, good question. It is definitely a competitive environment. It sounds like you've got kind of a pulse on what's going on out there. Aside from, the nuts and bolts, the contract itself and writing the strongest terms that we can and getting all your ducks in a row. I am a local expert here, so I can help direct you to the communities where we may have less competition. But I think more importantly, I've aligned myself with the top rated real estate team on Zillow. What that means for you is that we have a great reputation in the marketplace. And so, when two offers are compared against each other and it comes down to reputation, I'm confident we're the ones that are going to win that.
Beautiful. Love it. And in your opinion, man, we've owned our house for the last 6 years. People are saying that it may be a good time to sell. In your professional opinion, why do you believe it's a great time for us to sell?
Yeah, well, plain and simple, I think the perfect conditions exist right now. You probably have quite a bit of equity in your home currently, and you can take that out and take advantage of the historically low interest rates that are out there currently. There's a huge housing shortage right now. There are dozens, I would say, buyers that are competing against the listings that are out there. I'll give you an example. An agent on my team here just came on the market with a listing no more than 12 hours ago, and they have over 60 confirmed showings on his listing now. So the buyers are out there. They're willing to pay, and you can take advantage of the low interest rates for your next home.
Man, well said, well said. So you guys, let's let's break there. If we didn't get to everybody, we will get to everybody next time. So want to kind of go around the room and get your thoughts and what your takeaways were. I'm going to hear from our squad leaders first. So I'm going to go over to Eric. So Eric, first time hopping into group coaching and script role play. What were some things that you heard from your fellow brothers and sisters that were like, wow, man, like this is some great stuff? What were some things that you heard?
Yeah, so it's my first time joining on, and I feel like it's kind of an eye opener for me too, because scripts is something that even master agents are always working or should be working on, right? To elevate our business and our skill set, no matter how good we think we are. And just listening from you guys as newer agents, I mean, it's really an eye opener, because like, fuck, I need to work on my shit. Like, some of you guys are better than I am already. And so, it's a huge eye opener, and I realize the importance of this script practice. But I think the big takeaway here, and I was kind of going in and out because I'm dealing with a deal almost falling through right now. So I'm a little stressed and a little preoccupied. But some of the takeaways that I've heard from you guys was the authenticity. I didn't know what the context of what the big why was. Is that the seller asking what the big why is?
So it's just if someone, it's kind of like your value proposition, right? If someone's asking you, we always say like start with why. I want to hear that. So if somebody ever says, well, why do you do this business, Eric? Oh, shit. I have an answer. Yes.
Yeah. So I think, having said that, I think something that I learned being in this business is when I started being more authentic is when I started winning the trust of my clients. And the biggest takeaway for me and a game-changing point in my career is when I started working with this $3 million buyer. And I was super scared to be myself around him because he was a high-power lawyer, super successful. And I was like hiding myself, right? And somehow he found me on Instagram, started vetting my shit. And he was like, look, he straight up told me, he's like, me and my wife love you because we went through your Instagram and we saw that you love your family, because I have posts about my family and stating how much I love them, how grateful I am for them. They went through and saw that I was posting shit about my teammates and their success and me highlighting their success. So they're like, we just know that you're the right fit for us because you're real and you love your parents. You you do this for them. And so as far as talking about big why, I think that's huge. I think to be authentic and to be yourself. I mean, I used to wear like a button up and khakis and shit, which is not in my repertoire at all. I don't think I've ever worn chino pants in my life. I've never been inside a Banana Republic until I got into real estate. And so I was kind of a phony at first. My first year in real estate, I was a phony. I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. But now I show up in Kenny called me out the other day. We were going on a listing appointment. I was just wearing jeans and like a flannel shirt. And he called me out on IG. He's like, oh, look at his listing appointment uniform, and I'm like, it don't matter about that shit. What matters is your connection with the client and your authenticity and what comes from your heart. So hearing all your guys' story, albeit, just tidbits here and there, it's really inspiring to hear because that's what people connect to. And I think that's the key takeaway from today's meeting.
Good stuff, Eric. Good stuff. And you know what? And, it's not all new people on here, right? We have Terry and Pamela who've been in this game for a long time. Chris has been in this game for a long time that are still coming together to share their nuggets. Melissa, who's been in this game in multiple different states. So it's like great to hear everyone's, perspective. So Dewey, what were some of your takeaways? So I want to hear from you because you've obviously had mad success.
I feel like a Julie right now with the, oh crap, I don't know. But I mean, starting out on Kenny's team, like not that we never did script role play, but it wasn't like something that we pushed each other to do. And to hear you guys just freaking go in and practice this stuff. Cause like, I remember when Melody first came on the team, she was like, let's do script role play. And we were doing it. And I was just like, this is it's whatever. It's a waste of my time. But like hearing you guys like rehearse this stuff. Cause like, I literally go out there and Peter would be like, how do you do this? And I'm like, I honestly just wing it. And then like, it works itself out. But yeah, like key takeaway, like hearing a lot of good stuff in here, like it makes me want to, reevaluate my whys and get in here more often to dial down just so that I'm not like choking up when I'm out there in the field. So all good stuff. I'm completely agree with what Eric had to say about as far as being authentic, because I show up in like a t-shirt and shorts, sometimes basketball shorts. So yeah.
Good stuff. And you guys, at the end of the day, for Eric and Dewey, like this team of 20 plus people have been coming together 3 times a week. That's why it's like, let's put this all together, right? Show me the plays that we've been practicing in preseason, because it's game time, and I am thoroughly impressed. So let's hear another takeaway. Patrick, what were some of your takeaways from what you heard from everybody?
Well, it's just, I think the biggest takeaway is just how much cleaner and smoother everyone is sounding. I just remember the first times we were getting together, and it was just like, and even especially me, it was like, you just start tripping up because you're overthinking. And I think what I've been seeing from everybody really has been the beginning of, instead of being behind your eyes, you're sort of talking through them, in the sense where you're not stuck in your head, you're looking at your client, you're actually listening instead of trying to think of like what the next script is. Yeah. And that's my biggest takeaway, is just how it's become so instinctual for the responses to come out and how natural they sound.
I love it. You guys have been saying this for the last couple of weeks. Stop being a cerebral player, right? What we tend to do traditionally in sales is think while the other person is talking, to try to think about what we should say or how it's going to come out, versus assessing the situation and then approaching your response based on what the energy of that response or what they said is. So that's a skill, right? We want to have the best things to say. You don't have the best things to say. You just have to time it. You have to listen to your client and then respond appropriately. So don't be a cerebral player. Wait, respond by listening and assessing and then going in. So Patrick, good stuff. Let's hear for one more takeaway. I'm going to go for Miss Pamela. Pamela, you'll go next time. So Pamela, hearing everybody and everyone share, what were some of your key takeaways from today's session?
Okay, I'm trying to I'm unmuted, right?
Yeah, you are unmuted,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Stop it, Terry. So anyway, this is really emotional for me, because when I was thinking about what's my why, nobody ever asked me what my why is. And it's like, wow.
Well, then go. Take the stage.
It's heavy.
Don't cry. No.
Welcome
I know
to Group Coaching.
time, but I'm like a first generation realtor. And of course, my son is a second generation. So when I first started, I didn't realize what kind of difference I was going to make in my son's life or my life, or even people around me, because for my sister and I, we were the first people that looked like us. When I first became a realtor, I was rookie of the year, but I didn't have no one to look at to see how does this game played. Like for everybody here, we get to see Kenny and everybody on the team, so we know what the future looks like. For my sister and I, we were the first ones, so we had to kind of like take the wand and run with it and just figure it out, and make mistakes and just figure it out. So no one else, had the same dreams and goals that we had. So every day when I'm out there, I'm trying to, let people know how important it is to own a home and how to fix your life. Yeah. And Michael can do the same thing. He sees how hard that I worked and what I went through. So he'll be able to really make a big difference in people's lives and his own life also, because he doesn't want to have to go through what I had to go through to get to where I got to. So it was just happy just hearing everybody saying, wow, no one's ever asked me what my why is. I've just been pushing and pushing and pushing. If anybody, Michael knows my why, because he kind of sees it all the time. Wow. What I went through. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell.
Now we know, and you've let us all into that, and what it explains so much, and why you guys do everything you do, and why you're working so hard, and why you're setting that legacy in Michael and his work ethic. And then when he says something on these calls, you always get emotional. I see it, and now it all makes sense, right? So man, Pamela, thank you for closing us out on such a positive note and like letting us in, because there's so much emotion behind this business. Sometimes they see the Instagram stories, but they don't see all the shit we did to get where we are and all the stuff that we have to go through and all the things that we will go through. That's powerful to a buyer. That's powerful once you let them in. So you guys, I am totally moved by this session. Literally, I woke up this morning, I'm like, all right, what's the flow of this conversation going to be today? And I decided it this morning. And so it's just, I feel like the greatest ideas come in like the shortest amount of time. I didn't know that you guys would deliver the way you did. And I am fucking so impressed by you guys. So appreciate you in more ways than you'll ever know. And I'm grateful for this experience. So you guys, let's get out there. Let's crush our weekend. If you need any help over the weekend, let me know. I don't have baby this weekend. So I am out there in the field. So let me know if you guys need anything. Pamela, thank you for letting us in. And everyone that went today, thank you for delivering in such a high level. And I appreciate the heck out of you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.